Welcome to the Dandelion Economics series. Today's video will be on topic 2.1 as continuation from our discussion in the last video. At the end of the last video, we talked about different types of changes in the demand curve. One is the movement of point along the demand curve, which are caused by the change in price. And the other, which is what we're going to talk about today, is the shifters of demand. So that means anything other than in price will result in a shift in the entire demand curve, other than a specific point movement on the demand curve. Before we start, let's get this straight. So what are non-price determinants? Non-price determinants of demand refers to factors other than the current price that can potentially influence the need for a service or product. So what this means is that the non-price determinants set by the name is any determinant outside price. So it could range from anything that we're going to talk about next. And they result in a shift in the demand curve, like I've said before, not just quantity demanded. So the difference in quantity demanded and demand is reflected in either the point change or the curve change. And here it refers to the shift of the curve. Let's look at the first shifter of demand, income. So income refers to the amount of money earned by consumers through their act of employment. So when they work in the work field, they will be able to receive some income that they can use for expenditure on goods and services. The effect of income on the demand comes in two different types of good, and they impact them differently. First, we have normal goods. Normal goods refers to the goods that we mostly know of, ranging from anything including apples or TV programs or phone bills. Those are normal goods, and they have a positive relationship with income. So that means that when income increases, the demand for these normal goods will also increase. Why? Because as people's income increases, people will have a greater purchasing power, and this means that they will be able to get either more of a certain item or more variety in their items that they're getting. However, we have another type of good called inferior goods. So inferior goods refers to those which are relatively lower in quality, and they are less expensive compared to the others. So examples of inferior goods include instant noodles, second-hand cars. So these are goods that are of lower quality compared to fresh cooked noodles or first-handed cars. They have an inverse relationship in regards to demand. So when income decreases, their demand of these types of goods will increase. That's because taking common sense. So if I received a lower income on my job, I would look for alternatives for my normal goods. Instead of purchasing expensive spaghettis from the restaurant, I would go for instant noodles to save up for what I have to spend. So these are normal goods and inferior goods. Let's look at the second factor of change of non-price determinants, price of related goods. So they refer to price change of related goods cause change in demand. The related goods means any goods that can relate in some ways to the good that we're referring to. And here's two types of related goods. First, it's complementary goods. So they refer to examples such as a printer with ink. So these are goods that you have to purchase together in order for them to function normally. If you only purchase one of the goods, they wouldn't, so you would need them together. And substitute goods are alternatives. So instead of purchasing an apple juice, I could choose for an orange juice if I really want juice. So these are substitute goods that can replace each other in the economic decisions. So for a price raise in the complementary goods, in one of the complementary goods, it will lead to the demand of that good plus the decrease in demand for the related complementary good. Because if you don't need a printer anymore, why would you need ink? And for substitute goods, they work in the opposite way. If price increases for orange juice, I would prefer to have apple juice instead because they cost me comparatively low. For the third factor, or the third non-price determinant, it refers to taste and preferences. So it's the extent of popularity of the good changes demand. Depending on possible events such as public campaigns, speeches, and the events completed through celebrities who have public influence, these will possibly change people's tastes and preferences. And depending on the current trend of the nation or the world, people's tastes and preferences might also change. Instead of purchasing jeans, they might choose to purchase shorts or skirts. Fourth, it's number of consumers. So simply, this refers to the total number of consumers, stakeholders in the market. So it's changing the aggregate demand, and that results in the change in demand overall. As we remember from the previous lesson when we talked about individual demand and market demand, when there are fewer individual consumers, the market demand will obviously decrease because we don't have so many factors to complete an addition for. And lastly, but not least, further expectations. So these refers to expectations about the future, which can affect the demand for goods and services. And there are two types of expectations, or two areas of expectations. One is expectations about the price. So when we expect the price to increase in the future, we would choose to purchase more right now to save up for more money. And we have the future economy. So if we expect the future economy to behave well, for example, the employment and income would rise, then we would probably consume more now because we don't have to worry about saving up money for the future. Let's look at a graphic right here in review for all of the factors that we talked about. So income of the buyers is the first thing that we covered. It is when we have two types of goods, normal and inferior goods, they are being impacted differently by income. Consumer trends is what we talked about as the tastes and preferences. It might change people's demand and consumption patterns. Expectations about future price, and we also talked about future market. The price of related goods, remember complementary and substitute goods, impact the decisions differently. And the number of potential buyers, because they impact the market demand, which is the summation of all individual demands. So any changes in that will reflect in a change in demand. And that's all from Dandelion today. If you have any questions, please comment down below. And if you would like to stay tuned for further videos, please click subscribe. See you next time.